Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to give you my sort of like thoughts on what I thought of Moonknight. So, I don't really have much else to say, but obviously this is my first the camera up, my first non-Harry Potter video in quite a long time actually. So, without further ado, I think we can get into it. So, I think overall, I think this is a pretty enjoyable show. I would be happy to watch it again. I thought Oscar Isaac killed it in the role. I thought he did amazing. And overall, I think this is one of the better Marvel Disney Plus shows. A couple issues. First one, I think the finale, I don't think it's my least favorite episode. But compared to all the other MCU Disney Plus show finales, which low-key, I don't think any of them really nailed the coffin. Like, WandaVision's was probably the worst episode of the season. And I thought that was by far the worst one. Falcon Winter Soldiers, I think it was one of the weaker episodes of the season. It wasn't bad necessarily. They just didn't set it up right to make a satisfying conclusion. Loki's, it was still good, but it wasn't the most satisfying of things. And then, next one was What If. I didn't really have any problems with it. It's just, and I think it was the right finale. I don't know, it just didn't feel, it didn't fire in all cylinders. Like, the team dynamic didn't quite work for me. And then you have, And then you have, Hawkeye's finale, which, same with Moonknight has kind of the same problem. They're both trying to sort of rush everything to make it so that the finale works. And, yeah. So, the way everything plays out is a little odd, if you ask me. But overall, I still enjoyed the finale. It had some great action sequences. I really liked the post-credit scene tease, which I kind of knew it was coming. I've heard a lot about this character in the comics. Ever since it was announced, I sort of dove in a little bit. I sort of was researching a bunch of things. It sounded all amazing. And the Jake Lockley thing, that's what was sort of teased back in like episode 1. But then now it's come to fully form where he takes over. And he's like Mark on steroids, essentially. Where he's the very vicious killer, essentially. Like, he killed, Hera with no hesitation whatsoever. And overall, I'm excited to see what they do for season 2. But this season, I still really enjoyed it. I think some of the action sequences are great. The suit looks great. The CGI, it's not the best, but I still think it's good. And I think the way they kind of play between the two characters of Steven and Mark works really well. Got a little bit odd when you got to the middle of the season, but I think throughout the beginning and the end of the season it really worked because they learned to sort of cope with each other. And I think the way it all played out worked really nicely. Steven, I think, has his sort of fun and likableness to him. And Mark has a sort of edgy seriousness to him. And I think the two meshed together. The way they sort of turn to work together in the end, I think works really nicely. And overall, I did really enjoy the season. Where the season kind of falters is specifically in the middle when they're relic hunting, and I'm like, okay, this is still interesting, and I'm still kind of tracking along, but that's when I was sort of least following along, if I'm going to be honest. So, that stuff didn't quite work for me. And I think the show started off really good because it kind of was split into thirds, really. You have and I think the first 2 episodes are kind of 1/3 of the show, and then you have the next 2/3 where it's all the globe-trotting and relic hunting, and into the next third, and as well as the 5th episode to an extent. And then I think the last episode should have been split into 2. Make each one about 42 minutes. I think that could have worked really nicely. Or stretch out this one. I don't even think it needed to be 2 episodes. It could have just been this one, but just stretched out. And it made, instead of having 2 great episodes, it could have been the best episodes of the season. You have 1 episode that's just kind of alright. So, the way it ended things off just didn't quite work for me. The villain, I think Ethan Hawke, he was good in the role, but like he doesn't leave a lasting impression on you. It's really been since like Eternals since Eternals, that's when I kind of stopped thinking about the villains as much, because because they're gonna start playing around with different formulas and maybe trying to do things. They did that with Moonknight. They did that with Eternals. They did that to an extent with Loki, and played out pretty well. So I guess we'll just see what happens when it goes on. So I'm excited for season 2 if they end up making one. I really hope they do, because I did actually really enjoy this season. I'm excited to see what else they do with this character. But for now, I did really enjoy it. I think it's if I have to rank it between the shows, it probably ranks at number 2. I'm gonna have to figure out a new MCU ranking because that's going to be coming out within a couple weeks or so. Once I finish my MCU binge watch, which I'm on, I think, Guardians of the Galaxy. No, I'm on Captain America the Winter Soldier. I'm basically done with Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I'm on Captain America the Winter Soldier. And then as you go on, there you go. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Expect more Harry Potter and MCU content to come in the future. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios. Also, I will be seeing Multiverse of Madness this weekend, and I'll review it on Monday.